Hey friends, thanks for joining me. Andrew Axum with Axum Outdoor Adventures. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at the legendary wrist rocket. Stick around. So depending on your age, you've probably either heard of, seen, or maybe even shot a wrist rocket. Looking their history up online, most accounts I see show that they were designed by the Saunders Archery Company. Looks like around 1954 is most of the accounts that I'm finding. I know my dad bought this particular model in 1983. The reason I remember that, it was the same year he bought me a Daisy BB gun that I still actually have. I don't remember if these were called the B52 back then, but I do remember it was this model. Daisy still makes a couple of different models other than this. They have one called the F16, I believe, which was similar to this, just the frame without the wrist attachment. And they also had one called the P51, which has a pistol grip type attachment. I got this on Amazon for about $15 and some change. That was a couple of weeks ago. When I looked at it today, they have them marked down to $7.50 some cents, I think. So these are relatively affordable. So what is a wrist rocket exactly? If you Google that question, you get several definitions, but basically they all say it's a type of slingshot with the permanently attached wrist brace. These are actually illegal in several states in the United States. I saw a few things online that listed some countries these were illegal in, and they're also illegal in several cities in the United States within states where they're actually legal. So the laws are a little bit tricky on these. You do want to make sure if you find yourself with one of these that you know what the laws are. And stick around to the end of the video, because I'm going to touch more on the laws at the end, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So what is the benefit of having a wrist brace on there? Some people think that it makes it more stable, it makes you be able to be a little bit more accurate with them. And I think there is some truth to that. I haven't shot one of these things for 40 years to be exact. It was about 1983 when my dad first got his that I last shot a wrist rocket. They do not seem to be really prevalent in the slingshot community today. There are people that I hear online talking about how they enjoy shooting them. Recently, I saw a gentleman from New York posting that he had a shoulder injury and he needed the assistance of a brace, but they were illegal in New York, and he was kind of upset about that. And so again, we'll touch more on the laws at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around and be sure to subscribe as well. So if you do find yourself with a wrist rocket, whether you found one in someone's basement, someone gave you one, or you ordered one off of Amazon for the nostalgia, kind of like I did, if you get one, what can you expect out of it? Well, we're going to go out in the backyard and we're going to take some shots with this and we'll see how it performs. But before we head out there, let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at it and see how it compares to some other slingshots. So here it is, and it feels pretty solid. It has a folding handle, which is nice because that makes it more compact. You can put that in the backpack pretty easily to go hiking or something. Not exactly what I would call pocketable, but it's compact. I am not a big tube shooter. I do occasionally shoot tubes, but these are bigger than anything I have. I'll try to hold them up side by side for comparison. I believe these are 2040s and these are 1632s. And so these are a lot bigger than the tubes I'm used to shooting. On Daisy's online store, it says that this would be good for shooting 1/4 inch ammo, which is 6.3 millimeter. It says it would also be good for 3/8, which is 9.5 millimeter. And it says 1/2 inch. Now, I don't have any 1/2 inch ammo, but I do have 11 millimeter. and half-inch ammo comes out to be 12.7 millimeter, I think. So we're in the neighborhood with that. We'll go ahead and try it with all three of these outside. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on as best I remember how. So your arm kind of goes through there, and it has this plastic brace here, which is plastic, but it feels fairly durable. And you could always replace that with some paracord. I've been kind of getting into paracording lately, so you could paracord something across that. But I noticed the pouch does not have any center hole, which does make it easier to shoot the different sizes. So we'll just head outside and see what we can do. We're out in the backyard, and it is a beautiful summer day. It is the first time I have shot a wrist rocket in 40 years. I have not taken any practice shots off camera, so this is going to be literally the first shots that you're seeing. To start out with, I'm going to use some 8mm ammo, which is one kind they did not list on the website as being for this, but they listed 1/4 inch and they listed 3/8 or 9.5mm, so one would assume 8mm will shoot well. Since that's what I normally shoot with, I'm going to take a few shots and just kind of get acclimated to this. And then I'll take some shots with the other sizes. Oh, good Lord. That has a tremendous draw weight. I don't know if you saw that, but that was, the bands ended up like that after the shot. They are way too powerful for 8mm. I don't think there's even any point in doing the 1/4 inch. See, my arm's wearing out before I can even get on target. I have no idea how many shots that's been, but if you're a brand new shooter, this is super discouraging. I'm going to switch to some 9.5, but I'm going to go pick my 8mm up first so I don't mix it all. Magnets makes it super easy to pick up steel. The Daisy website also says you can shoot glass marbles, and you can, and I know some guys that do that, but I don't want to do that in my yard because I don't want broken glass, and you can't pick glass up with magnets. You know what, just for fun, I am going to do 1/4 inch. Who knows? Oh, this is no more fun than the 8mm. Okay, we'll do 9.5 or 3/8. Haven't gotten on target yet. Well, the 9.5 seems to be a little easier to control. There we go. Hey, look at that curtain swing. Ooh, bullseye. This actually feels a lot more like what you should be shooting. So so the problem, actually this frame I kind of like. The problem is the tubes. They're way too heavy, and that 11mm actually feels pretty decently matched for the tubes if they were a little bit longer, but I have to pinch around the ammo and actually close my finger around it just to keep my hands on there because the draw is so tight. I'm going to go get my scales and see what the draw weight is on this. It's ridiculous. $21.96. So this thing has a 22-pound draw weight. So what is my honest assessment of the Daisy B52, or kind of wrist rockets in general, I guess? From a nostalgia perspective, I love them. This is a piece of my childhood and a lot of other people's, but I came out here with a stack, oh, a lightning bug. Came out here with a stack of paper plates and a marker. I thought I was going to be shooting up plates with this thing. It took me quite a while to get on target. If you're a brand new shooter, and I was back in the day, and that's probably why there was a 45-year gap or whatever in between shooting this and me getting reintroduced to slingshots. This was kind of discouraging, I remember back then. But from a nostalgia perspective, this thing's awesome. I honestly think if you replace the bands on these, and I actually had some other attachments to try to replace the bands on here on the way, and they didn't get here in time for the video. But I am going to put some lighter tubes on this, and I'll do a follow-up on this, maybe in the comments. But I think it's actually a pretty decent frame. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to shoot whenever I get some other bands on here. And I do like the support that that wrist brace gives you. Do I think it should be illegal? No, I don't really see the point in that. Any more than I saw the point in switchblade knives being illegal, or automatic knives. They legalized those here in Indiana about 10 years ago, and I never saw the point in that. Many of the assisted opening knives open just as fast, if not faster, than the automatic knives. But I think this is a case of that. It's a holdover. These look more dangerous. And quite honestly, there's probably a lot of knuckleheads that run around and got these at some point because they were cheap. They were in every Kmart and Walmart, and probably shot out street lights and windows and whatever with them. So that brings me to another point. If you're going to get into the slingshot hobby, be a good steward of the hobby, because we need to reverse silly laws like that don't make any sense. I feel like the legislatures probably were well-meaning, but it just doesn't make any sense for this to be illegal if there's somebody that has a health condition that this would help them enjoy the hobby of slingshots. Sorry, that's just my 2 cents worth. So do I think you ought to get one of these? Yeah, if you're a new slingshotter who thinks that this might be something you'd be interested in, and it's in a state where it's legal for you to have, then by all means get one. They're cheap. You can buy bands to replace this, or tubes to replace this. You can get those from simpleshot.com. There's a lot of different vendors if you just Google slingshot tubes. But yeah, this is a pretty decent slingshot. I like the frame. And if you're somebody who's already into slingshots and you just want to add something to your collection, I feel like everybody ought to have one of these. It took me a while to get one, but it meant a lot to me to get one, especially the exact model that my dad had when I was a kid. Hey, that's going to be it this time for Axum Outdoor Adventure. If you've enjoyed this video or any of my videos, don't forget to go down and hit subscribe. Remember to give us a like, and don't forget to hit the bell icon, because I really love slingshots. I love sharing them, and I'd love you to love them right along with me. Thanks for watching.